Dystopia leaving the tournament probably a little bit earlier than they planned, a little bit earlier than I planned. They were one of my 3 teams picked to go on Circle of 2, another one of my teams that also left, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. That just means that my third pick was the one I was actually gunning for. Paul, do you think, or sorry, Verone, do you think we're a little bit surprised by this result?
Not really. I mean, Dystopia have performed really well. They've done an excellent job so far. I mean, Tirax is kind of renowned for tomfoolery kind of thing, we'll say, to be diplomatic in the tournament. But they've had a really solid showing this time around. Darkside have been very good from the beginning. They had a bit of a shaky start, but they really started to shine when it got into the knockout stages. And I think, well, obviously the best team has won. And I just think that Dystopia were unfortunate.
Probably a little bit. I think we should come back to that, but I also completely neglected to introduce our new guest. It is creative director of CCP.
EVE Online.
Of EVE Online, that's true. CCP's Tortreferant.
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm always fantastic when expensive ships blow up, and we have devs that can talk about awesome stuff.
Especially watching stuff blow up while we're not wearing pants.
While not wearing pants,
yeah.
Yes. That's what the viewers don't know, but no one wears pants here.
No.
So, creative director, what does this mean? What do you do?
Well, you know, I just became creative director after being senior producer for 2 years. So what it means in like short terms is I'm stopped drinking like small espressos from small cups and drinking them really fast and like being stressed out and drinking like mocha chai lattes and listening to soft music and reading poetry.
It sounds like a very nice position.
Yeah, exactly. But essentially, I mean, the EVE development team is growing massively, and it's just been growing and growing by each month for quite a while, and we're doing big things. We're doing our current expansions, our flying in space related expansions, and we are working on Incarna, and we are working on the EVE Dust Link, and we are working on EVE Gate, and all of these things must be harmonious and beautiful and work well together. So my job essentially is to work with the lead game designer, the lead content writer, the art director, and everybody else, and the IP manager, to make sure that all of us are going essentially in the same direction. We're not writing a story about something that a model never gets built about a game mechanism that just doesn't really support the story, etc. So it's kind of having all of the divisions march in the same direction.
And it also goes down to finding the new features as well, right? I mean,
of course,
it's
not just
what's happening in
It's basically having the creative vision of where we're going, and then aligning with all of the designers and the teams on like both like building that vision and building like where we're going, and then executing on it and making it happen.
Where are we going?
Well, we're going a lot of places. Well, first off, we are going to polish and iterate better planetary interaction, which we just launched in Tyrannis. We have teams on it right now, which are working on making it better for our next big expansion, and both polishing the way it feels and the way it works, and adding some cool new, more sandboxy and multiplayer-esque features to it, without saying more. Then we have teams working on Incarna, which is the expansion where people can get out of the ships and walk around and do stuff. The mystical stuff being kind of very mystical and will remain mystical. But we will be rolling Incarna out kind of softly. It won't be a big splash launch. We've decided to do that kind of in order to be able to deliver just awesome stuff in space in the meantime. We've got some, but we're working on some pretty new avatars, and we will destroy and wipe away all of your current avatars and replace them with new people and new character customization. So everybody who owns a character in EVE will be able to recustomize and new people. As you can see, they're much less cartoony than they used to be. These are actually renders from out of Maya, but these are the actual assets that we're going to be using in game. So in game, they won't look exactly as high fidelity as these. But maybe during offline renders and for your forum renders they might. And so that will be our first phase, is to do the same for our characters as we did with our ships in Trinity.
Yeah, and that is going to be very amazing, and hopefully we can look at those later and hear some more about it. We have to grab our last match here before the semifinals, it is Pandemic Legion versus Atlas. Let's just get a round of picks here. Darius Johnson.
Pandemic Legion.
Pandemic Legion.
Pandemic Legion seems to be winning everything. So
Pandemic Legion are pretty much winning everything, so let's see if they in fact win everything.
mhm.